morning and welcome. It's the 10th of April, it's around about 10 o'clock, and we'll start as ever with the Australian dollar, US dollar. This has moved really nicely down for us. It's now resting on support here, so we'll wait to see if it continues down. I think it should. The commitment of traders is with us. We're going to hold this trade. Hopefully we might get down to sort of the 72 level. Thank you. AUD Japanese yen, basically the same story. It's come down onto a little bit of support. We'll see how that goes. Euro Japanese yen, we're just in profit. I shall just put a stop on this, and there we go, just in profit. Just stick a stop loss on it. So the commitment of traders report on the Australian dollar was heavily bearish. On the Japanese yen, it was slightly bullish, but less so than last week. And on the euro, it was heavily bearish. So that's why we're still in these trades. Our New Zealand dollar, again, commitment of traders report was heavily bullish the New Zealand dollar and bearish the Australian dollar. So we're seeing quite a good move now. We're below the 50 on the RSI. The stochastic has gone down to the bottom there. We'll hang on to this trade. I think there's quite a lot of scope on it. The Euro New Zealand dollar, same thing again. We've got the commitment of traders report, bearish on the euro, bullish on the New Zealand dollar. So we'll just get a stop loss. There we go, just in the profit area there. Pound Australian dollar, this is taking off again. We're going to hang on to this trade. It's done really well for us so far, and commitment of traders report says it's going to continue, so we're well in with that. SP 500, well, that's a monthly chart. Put it back on the daily. Yeah, I think it's slightly fallen a bit today. It's still under the trend line, and I wonder if it's below the 50. A tad below the 50 on the RSI. I think this is hilarious, and I think it's going to fall, but we'll see what happens with that one. The commitment of traders weren't as bearish of it as they were, so the one I'm actually interested in looking at and following this week is the oil, WTI. So this is the AUD CAD, which has continued through short for us. Commitment to traders again, bearish this pair, so we're going to hold the trade and see how far it'll take us. Euro US dollar, that's continuing on short. We're well below the 50 on the RSI. I think that's going to continue down. This is a great trade if you're in it. I am not. I chose to go into something else, but there you have it. Euro pound. This should be a great trade. It's short. It is now in the middle of the Bollinger Band. It's not something I want to get into. So the commitment of traders was short. I think you might see a pop up to the mid Bollinger Band. That might be a fairly decent sell. I'll have a look at it later on in the week. At the moment, I'm not in that. Silver, well, this fell nicely on Friday. The commitment of traders report is short. Silver, the overall outlook for silver is basically short. I'm just coming down to the 50 mark on the RSI. I'm going to hold this, and until the commitment of traders tells me otherwise, I'm going to hold this short. I got in too early. I got in on price action. I saw a bit of weakness here, thought it was going to fall through, and it hasn't. Here we go. USD Mexican peso. We've seen quite a little bit of strength, excuse me, this morning in the dollar. We're bouncing along the bottom here now. I really think this is going to hold, and well, I've got my money on it anyway, and I'm looking for a bit of upside now in this pair. USD Japanese yen. We're looking for it. It's just under the mid Bollinger Band. I was looking for it to long, maybe up to the 112, 113 mark. If it does, I'll be back in it short. Right, WTI daily. This is oil, and I'm very interested in this. I'm trying to find the turning point, and I'm using the commitment of traders report, which is out on a Friday, to do that. What we've got coming up, actually, we're just moving into some resistance which is recent, but if you look into the history, this blue line I've got up here, it is actually a turning point historically for oil. So if we actually go over the resistance line on the RSI, which is this one, what I did, I put a trend line up here for where we actually started showing weakness there, or you could even have put it maybe somewhere over here, and this forms resistance. The one over here we've actually already gone through, where we found this resistance here, and we got a little bit of a zigzaggy pattern, but here this again is resistance, and the oil has just come up and touched it on the RSI. So I think there's quite a bit of power left in this, and we might see it slip up north a little bit, but I'm pretty sure this this line here at 55.89, is it? I'm pretty sure that's going to hold. So we're just looking for weakness on this, and we'll get our trade in. Okay, thank you very much for the likes and subscriptions, and hopefully see you again tomorrow. Cheers, bye now.